Thanks for joining me. This is Regina of Morale Fiber, and today I have a video tutorial for how to add this twisted fringe to any crochet project. The project I've got going right now is a cotton market bag. It's a free pattern that I offer, and I will have the link for this below in the description. This is the twisted fringe. I'm adding this to the surface of the brim of the bag, and it's this really nice, pretty and kind of different decoration that you can do on any crochet surface. So I'm gonna find my place here and get started with how to do that. So I'm just going to pick up where I left off in my work so far. Again, this can be applied to any crochet stitch, so it's just a general direction. And my last stitch here, I've got my loop on the hook. What I'm going to do to create that twisted fringe is to take my hook and draw up that loop really long, pretty long. It's going to be whatever length you decide. You'll have to play around with it to determine how long of a fringe you want. But once you have that loop, you can start twisting it around. What I do for this length and this gauge of material is I'm doing 40 twists. Sometimes I did 50, somewhere in between. I kind of counted loosely. But you'll just want to wind that loop in one direction. Again, I'm doing 40 for this project. Once you've got it wound tight enough, here I've got my loop, it's wound up, it's no longer a loop, it's a thread. I'm going to use the fingers of my crochet hand to keep those two halves of that twisted thread separate. You don't want to release them yet because they'll twist together and make a mess. So what I'm doing here is going back to my stitching, which could be any crochet stitch. I've been working into the surface of single crochet. So I've been inserting my loop from the top through the bottom and back out through the top to make a slip stitch on the surface. Here's my loop again. I'll show you one more time as I'm going back down to insert my hook into the next stitch. I've got those hook fingers locked onto that thread so that it doesn't release. And I'll draw up my loop here. Again, this could be a single crochet, a double crochet, it doesn't matter. It's the same technique. And I'm going to slide my hook through that to finish. So that would be my fastening stitch. So whichever stitch that is, that'll be the last loop you pull through on your stitch. And to finish off my twisted thread, I'm going to release slowly. I'm going to give it a few turns in the opposite direction to get it started, and then I'm going to release. And that coiled tension with those two halves of the loop put together, they'll coil upon themselves to make this twisted little cord. And that makes a really lovely fringe on any kind of crochet project. I'm going to start again. I made one more slip stitch and I'm going to start another fringe. So I'm placing these fringes every other slip stitch. I'm going to kind of adjust for size here. My whole fringe on this project that I'm doing is estimated. I don't care if it's kind of wild looking. It's pretty close in my opinion, close enough. If you really want a really neat fringe, you'll want to get a piece of cardboard or some kind of a ruler device so that your loops will be the same size each time, the exact same size. And of course you'll want to twist the exact same amount of times as well if you're aiming for a really nicely produced fringe. As it is right now, whoops, there we go. I'm not aiming for that. And you'll see me take these fringes and give them a couple little rolls in my fingers and sort of straighten them out. That helps even out the tension of the coil, and it also helps keep that twist straight. So I'm just going to finish up this project with a few more coils on the surface, little twisted fringes, and I hope you found this helpful. Again, the pattern for the market bag I'm working with can be found for free in the link below. That'll take you to my blog where the written pattern is available for free. And today I'm also working with recycled cotton yarn. It's one of my favorite things to make these bags from. I do have a tutorial for how to upcycle yarn from thrift store sweaters as well. It's a really nice wallet-friendly and earth-friendly project. So I'll have all those links below, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this content. Thanks for joining me.